Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio, third show of 2026, and we don't have a Doug.
Boo!
And-
I want a refund.
I'm your host, Angela Rose, and I am joined by our lovely co-host, Darren, who's not dead,
Hello.
and Kayatianyu.
Hello.
And we also have special guests we have Kumi and Mav from Onkey Expo.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
And hello, John Knight. Random chat. Perfect random chat leading in to the night. Before we went live, we were talking about Sword Art Online, and that in and of itself is a very polarizing show. People either love it or hate it. With almost no middle ground.
And many of the people that hate it, I think, never made it to Alicization.
I maintain that was the arguably best story arc.
Yeah, because Kirito wasn't a part of it for most of it.
He was, but he wasn't.
He was in the background for the second half.
You know what? I suppose then I'll pose that to you, since we've brought up a couple of different
opinions
and characters. How many shows are arguably good, but the main character is the arguably main character is the weak point?
I have to think.
Because one could argue Sword Art Online, because there's definitely been some arcs where Kirito was the weak point. And if Doug were here, he would bring up My Hero Academia, because
Deku's the weak point, which
I don't know if I have watched any animes that I would say that where the main character is the weak. That is a fantastic question. I really have to think about that.
Or just media in general. Because, we get these ensemble in a lot of shows nowadays. Yeah, it's an ensemble cast, but there's always one character that stands out, whether it's
True.
Good or bad.
True.
And from the chat, John Knight says he is glad everyone still has power during the snowstorm. John, I hope you are staying safe as well.
Agreed.
I hope everyone, regardless of where you are, if you are experiencing this winter weather, I hope you are you are safe and have heat and power and
all the necessities.
Yep.
Yes. I hope you can make a snowman.
all I got down here is ice.
Can't even make a snow angel.
What I got to witness was the cutest thing earlier today while I was in the kitchen doing some cooking. Out my window was a young child and parents playing in the snow for the child. It was probably their first big storm.
Oh, nice.
And it was the most adorable little thing.
Oh. Okay.
But winter, we're there.
We're in it. It's cold.
I'm listening to it.
I hope you have fuzzy slippers and hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa long since been consumed, and my present to myself post Christmas was a pair of nice UGG slippers.
I have those.
I have flannel sheets, a decent blanket, and surrounded by waifus, so I'm fine.
Living the dream right there.
Yeah. I suppose that is. I suppose being in the north, In the north, the pile of blankets is mandatory.
True. So, my question is like, this is my first time doing an interview, and I'm excited. So, what is the general flow of this? Do you get questions? Is there like a rambling portion? Is there a rating portion? Please tell me there's a rating portion. Do we do like a top 5 at any point?
There's no structure to this at all.
We can totally do a top 5 if you want one.
Pick something, anything.
We have done. Actually, I think we did a top. We've been known to do top 5s from time to time. Usually it's the top 5 either waifus or anime of a specific season.
I'm old school. I don't do the waifu thing. I do not judge those who have their waifu countdown. I have seen too many come and go.
Someone who agrees with me.
Oh wow! Write that down.
Yeah, because you guys all do that, and then I just usually tune you all out and laugh at you. And
yeah, that's my usual thing.
But
there are some badass women across the spectrum. Love them all. I mean, and honestly, if I had to choose, like my favorite picks would probably be things that people would not agree or would be surprised.
Considering when,
if you want to give some examples, feel free.
Well, okay, I can do that. I would say, like, if we're saying some of the most badass women in anime, in my opinion, you got to shout out. I mean, Fujiko Mine. Like, but I never hear anybody giving it. Like, no one seems to ever give her respect or her props.
Now, which show is this? I'm sorry.
Lupin the Third. See, this is where we're at, people.
Okay.
This is. There needs to be a required viewing, like before you get into anime. I'm sorry, I'm a purist. There has to be.
No,
because how do we not know who Fujiko is? Like she is.
Lupin the. I suppose this is where we say my introduction to anime was Serial Experiments Lane, which tells you a little bit about my taste being all over the place.
Oh, agreed.
My introduction was Chrome Shelled Regios, so that's mid 2008, I think it was. But we watched it in like 2012. It was when anime was on Netflix, and I drove my friend to and from school, and so after school he would show me various shows that were on Netflix.
Okay.
Whereas Serial Experiments Lane was we decided to binge the entire series on DVD during exam week in college. Why we thought this was a good idea, I don't know.
So long as you passed your exams, who the hell cares?
Yeah.
I didn't. That was the problem.
I am going to date myself horribly here with this, but my honest to God intro to anime was 6:30 a.m. before school, Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yep.
Before there was Ghost Stories, before there was Shin-Chan, there was Samurai Pizza Cats that started the entire genre.
Which makes me think you are probably very close to my age.
We are, from what I can tell, we are extremely close. Followed by Sailor Moon. So it was Samurai Pizza Cats, Sailor Moon, and then if we were lucky, we got Tekka Man Blade. If we could squeeze that one in. Those were my 3 big introductions to anime.
Well, the first anime I was ever shown was my best friend from high school brought over her VHS copy of a show called El Hazard. I do not remember any of it beyond the gratuitous fan service. And of course, us 15-year-olds were in the basement trying to watch this. And parents only cared in so much as my 4-year-old sister didn't see anything inappropriate. Well, of course, during the fan service scenes is when she decided to sneak downstairs and see what we were doing.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We are
That's how it
trying
always happens.
and we are trying our darndest to make sure she doesn't see anything, even though it's animated.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was my that's my first experience with anime. And my friend worked at Suncoast and because she was super into anime, she would just pre-order anything and everything that she liked because she could do that.
Well,
Suncoast
is that kind of tells us a lot too, because Suncoast is no longer around.
Yep. And then we went our separate ways for college, and I didn't watch anime for a very lengthy period of time. So when the early 2000s rolled around, I'd seen very little. So everyone's trying to show me everything, and then everyone's shocked that I haven't seen certain things.
Man, I don't think I've ever went through a period where I stopped watching anime long. It was always a matter of just finding something that grabbed my attention. I was always very much aware of like what the popular anime of the time was. I was, it was always fascinating to go from watching it go from being a niche thing, and then it really kind of broke through with Pokemon. Because that was definitely the point where it hit mainstream. Dragon Ball Z always had a fan base. Everybody kind of messed with it, but nobody. But it didn't break through.
I would argue that while it had its massive fan base, it wasn't mainstream.
It wasn't. It was very much Pokemon that kind of broke the seal on the general audience and the mainstream.
And we have a Switch Hacks joining us finally.
Oh my God. Finally made it.
The administrative assistant is here now. This is good.
No, he just found another victim to bully.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I see you're standing in the back. You're trying to avoid communicating right now.
Hell yeah.
No, not hell yeah. You're one of the big three on our team. You're supposed to be front and center. I'm not supposed to be carrying this conversation.
I'm letting you talk, man. You're always
I feel like
you speak.
I was gonna say I feel like us old. My husband, due to the age difference and some of my commentary, he loves to call me grandma. When I make dated references and things along those lines, and I feel like that's exactly what's happening. Is us two old folks are totally just going down.
You got some things that I definitely watched. I started anime when Inuyasha was around.
Okay.
I was trying to think, what's that show? Toonami? It was on the TV.
What's that show, Toonami? See, this is what I mean. There's an anime education that is not happening, and we need to fix it. We need to open the schools, and we need to have proper.
We lost Switch.
He's in the brunt of the storm, guys. So the fact that he even was able to join for like that split second is crazy.
Okay, so that's gonna be it wouldn't be AZR without technical difficulties.
He'll be in areas again.
YouTubers are known for scuff. Come on now.
Yep.
We bring it in. Oh, welcome back, Switch. How are you doing?
Are you alive? Is this you sending up a flare right now?
Thank you. I love
the SOS.
Do we need to send a dog sled?
Yeah, no.
I think we might need to send the dog sled.
The Saint Bernard with the alcohol around its neck.
Yep.
And chocolate.
And chocolate.
Oh, and chocolate.
Because
that shit. Come on.
Because allergies notwithstanding, who doesn't like chocolate?
Exactly.
I mean, I could take it or leave it. I'm a gummy person. I'm a gummy guy. Like I love sour candy. I love gummies. Like that's my bag.
Fair.
You're making me want chocolate right now.
But if someone handed you a homemade chocolate chip cookie, would you turn it down?
Oh hell no! Like
Exactly.
But I'm an isolated creature. Nobody hands me chocolate chip cookies. That's why I bully everybody. I'm really just alone in a cave by myself.
Oh my god!
So what you all are telling me is for when Onkey happens, I need to bring baked goods.
You will not be rejected for bringing baked goods.
Then someone will need to provide me like if there's allergies or things of that nature.
Tree nuts.
Who, you?
Yeah.
I tend to
just told me your weakness. Thank you. I did not know that.
Shut up, man.
minus my one minus my one D&D group who loves chocolate peanut butter, I tend to avoid doing nuts unless requested because I know enough people with nut allergies.
Do peanuts fall into the category or no? No? Okay.
Those are peanuts. Tree nuts come from the tree. Peanuts come.
I just tend to kind of take that. I just kind of tend to go to the extreme and avoid nuts.
So you're saying I could take Kumi out with a walnut? Got it. Just.
Stand you. God. I really can't stand you.
God, what have we done?
Oh my God.
And Switch came back to that.
Again, I really feel like we should send a signal, like somebody to go check on him because this feels like SOS at this point. We're gonna find out.
And Switch Hacks muted himself, so I.
Oh, okay, that's a difference, or that's a change.
So I don't know if that is something's going on. I didn't do it. I have the power to do it, but I didn't. So.
I gotta say, well, thank you for having us on. This is the second time, Kumi, that people from Onkey have been on.
Yes.
Second or third? Okay. Well, as Kumi is obviously one of the big three, but I am the exec of design and marketing. So the visual style that you guys have seen, if you've watched or you've seen the logo, with a lot of input from the team, of course. That's all me. Pin kicked down my door and dragged me into this team.
I would say kicking and screaming, but I highly doubt that.
No, it was very much kicking it. It was a trick. She played a trick on me. It was very much, hey, can you do this logo? And I was like, of course. Like, I got you anytime. Anytime you need something, I got you. And then it was like, oh, this logo's dope. You're on the team now. And it was like, wait, what? So it was kind of like, it was like going to a second location with a kidnapper, which you're never supposed to do. So here I am.
I do not know how to
doesn't
respond.
Warrant a response. It doesn't warrant one. Just, like.
Just roll with it.
Yep.
That's just the, bit of advice for anyone out there who finds themselves in a kidnapping scenario. You are never supposed to go to a second location.
Am I real?
There should not.
He's back.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're back.
So long. I had to deep dive into settings I didn't even know I had.
You found them, and we're happy you're here, man.
Oh,
Thank
great!
you.
Welcome to the chaos.
All right, news anchor us. How's it looking outside there?
Like that.
And I was going to say, wait. I'd say where
Bad.
is
How's the weather, Ollie?
It is in fact snowing sideways.
I believe. I would not be surprised if between the six of us, we've got at least 4 states covered.
Yeah, that's about right.
I mean,
Maybe more. I don't know.
I have no problem saying the state I'm in. If anybody's dumb enough to try to actually kick in my door, I'm in Delaware. It is a slurry right now with a lot of snow.
Okay.
He's too far away for me to beat him up, guys. That's a drive I don't want
I'm
to.
literally just gonna blow walnut dust at you and just watch.
See,
you've told me your weakness now.
But see if I could, I have been there. I've driven there. I could. But is it worth the effort?
Mav, you and I could meet up literally whenever. You're a bridge away from me.
Say the word, man. I ain't doing shit half the time.
All he's doing is just art.
Yeah, all you're doing is literally keeping us afloat.
Yeah, I pretend to have a job.
So when PAX Unplugged rolls around, I should go harass you guys then.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Because this year, if I'm not mistaken, it is PAX Unplugged is 2 weeks after Onkey.
Ooh.
I think you're right.
Guess what I'm not doing.
If I survive Onkey, which is highly debatable,
you're not.
I will wander
You're not
around.
going to. You're not going to.
This is a one and done. This is a one-way trip for you, my dog.
Like between you and I's duel that's gonna happen out in the parking lot where everyone can see.
We're selling tickets to that, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Paywall
So,
it.
can I rap?
Darren, that was going to be my job.
We need commentators. You
Hey,
need someone who can commentate on the side, you know?
Yeah.
But say, there can be more than one ref, right?
I suppose color commentary is more appropriate for me because I don't shut up.
It's gonna be great.
But my commentary will embody almost every Boston stereotype that exists.
More than Kumi?
Yeah.
More than Kumi? Because like she is a Boston stereotype and I hate it. Just everything.
You know,
Wow.
I bit my tongue. I bit it.
Nope. Kumi, us Boston girls got to stick together.
We do.
Well, unfortunately, that puts you as my enemy. I'm sorry. This was a pleasant
That
conversation.
stinks.
to
That's
start.
okay. I'll just smack you again
And
with my rollator. You know.
As a New Yorker by default, like
New Englander born and raised.
then we were never gonna be friends. But this was pleasant. This was absolutely pleasant to start.
But here's a question.
What's up?
Part 1: are you a sports fan?
By default, I have to root for the New York teams. Otherwise, I would be strung and quartered.
Which New York teams?
I mean, Giants, Knicks. I was never a hockey fan, but you know, I've gone to 1 or 2 Islanders games. Yankees, of course. That's why, you know, by default, we are going to be enemies.
Yeah, by default, my grandma hates you.
Yeah. I mean, my
Well,
aunt
I
is my
suppose-
grandmother by default. Then this is where
I
we're at.
suppose I should adjust. Oh, you can't quite see. Adjusting my camera slightly. Directly behind me on that wall is a framed poster of Fenway Park.
Mm.
And on the you can
Terrible
kind of
poster.
and also a foam core mount that we found on the side of the road with the blueprint of Fenway Park.
Again, terrible art. Just take it off the walls.
Welcome to my daily working environment with this man.
Um,
I love how
She would complain to HR, but we don't actually have an HR department.
I am
so-
HR.
well, one of my former bosses was in fact from New York, and therefore a Yankees fan, and we would go back and forth arguing baseball. The day my computer arrived, he had to work from home, so I purposely set my desktop picture to Fenway Park. His response the next day was to pull out the Yankees totem, and the other 2 admins on the team or in the department just looked at us and just shook their heads because they thought we were crazy. So now when I go back to visit, the one just always, okay, you 2 get the sports out of the way because I know you're going to.
Well, speaking of, you know, going back to Onkey, besides the fact that I will obviously survive my duel with Kumi, the other reason I might not survive is because I am required, as a promise to my aunt, to go to Fenway Park with a Yankees hat on and flip it off. And
Yeah, you're also not going to that either.
yeah, I'm not going to
No,
survive.
you
that.
won't
So,
survive.
No, you will not.
pleasure.
That's far less likely of a fight you're gonna win.
All the
That being
audience
said-
right now is like rubbing their hands, just waiting for you.
Um,
Like they're like,
See, I almost brought a Red Sox jersey on my last trip to New York. I
Ooh.
didn't. I should
That was
have.
wise. That was wise.
I
I rode the
love
subway
how
during the subway series, and I see what we've done to our own people. You know,
I
I-
love how as a Southerner I have no skin in the game at all in any of this.
mm-mm.
So, but now, these sports rivalries have transcended sports and become a massive part of pop culture.
hmm
The Boston-New York rivalry literally has extended to everything,
it really has.
down to
Yeah.
and including one of the last metal concerts I was at. The band was trying to get the crowd riled up, trying to get them to scream. They wouldn't, and then they start by saying, "We were in New York yesterday, and they were louder than you."
Yep.
And the crowd reacted by screaming boo as loud as they could.
That's just how it is. That's how it is. As soon as you tell us that New York was doing something better than us, that's it.
Exactly.
Foot's down. We're gonna be better than them all day, every day. which is really funny because I'm going to New York in a month.
My wonderful husband took me to New York for my birthday last month, and it was fantastic. One of these years, I will go to a Sox Yankees game at Yankee Stadium and scream out my voice.
Oof.
Yeah.
I think my grandma did that once.
You're gonna want to bring brass knuckles. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna want to.
I'll just bring your face instead, and so every time they punch me, I'll put your face in front.
No, that is unnecessary. I can handle my own. And you know what? Bringing this back to anime, because we've gone all over the place. We kind of touched on this, but John Knight is asking our guests, what would you say is your gateway anime? And we kind of did touch on this a little bit, but I think Switch was not here for that.
You know, Switch was dying.
Yeah, I was being thrown into the abyss.
You were.
But what would you say is your gateway or introduction to anime?
Go ahead, Switch.
I have a very easy answer, which I may have actually said before, but I will say again. I had a babysitter when I was like 7 or 8 years old who had the VHS tapes for Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon, and I blame her every day of my life that I'm like this.
Yeah. I suppose I'm the oddball on that because I never saw Sailor Moon as a child.
What are we doing here?
I dressed as me and one of my best friends. We cosplayed as Sailor Scouts at Anime Boston one year. I had not seen the show ever at that point, and then proceeded to attempt to watch it with my husband and did not enjoy it.
You know, those old animes, a lot of them are, the pacing is not there. The pace is, so there is a charm to them if you grew up with them, but I'm not going to pretend like the pacing wasn't terrible, or even the translations, you know, back then.
It's really do they hold, do some of the old, now we could debate what would be considered classics, but do they hold up today? If you were to go back and watch the original Sailor Moon or the original Dragon Ball or Gundam Wing or any of the old shows, do they hold up?
First, I want to say.
Oh, there he goes.
Because I feel like Knight, he asked a question, and I would love to answer it, even if we answered previously. Knight, my gateway anime was Samurai Pizza Cats and Sailor Moon and Tekken Man Blade. Those were my gateway animes that I watched before anything else.
Inuyasha, I mentioned with Toonami. Inuyasha was the first entryway into anime, and then from there, this will definitely show my age, but Black Butler was what got me fully into anime.
So, you know, terrible choices across the board, people.
All right, Mav, you know, you and I, we're going to have to step outside
Terrible
backstage.
anime.
No. We are not going to criticize other people's choices. There's enough anime.
I'm not criticizing other people's. I'm criticizing Kumi specifically.
I can't with you. I can't with you.
I mean, Angela, that is going back to your question. That was a wonderful question. I think against today's modern anime, do I believe the pacing of some of them, do they hold up? Yes, for Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
I do not know if the pacing for the original Sailor Moon holds up. I do not know. I'd have to rewatch it. But I feel like for a slower anime, Dragon Ball Z definitely holds up. Although the Kai dub definitely helps people with a lot of the fluff that they had.
And Switch is having technical difficulties and is now just in the chat.
Hi, Switch.
Hi, Switch.
Not the first time we've had a guest have technical difficulties. But now from the chat, the next question to you guys is: do you collect Blu-rays or any? Or I'm going to expand that to say any physical anime media.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Yep. So for me, I have the Studio Ghibli movies. So right now I have Howl's Moving Castle, but I want to expand. I want to get like Ponyo, The Boy and the Heron.
Such a good movie.
Yes. I
I
saw The Boy and the Heron in theaters. I
Same.
was crying with the rest of the girls.
that released locally around my birthday.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
So that was, and oh wow. And Howl's Moving Castle I also have on DVD, and
Yeah.
and Switch in the chat says he has Project Lane.
was that was that Switch's? What is that pertaining to? Is that the DVD question?
I believe so,
Yeah.
but he also says the tech gods have smote him.
Smite him. Smote or smite?
Smoke.
Smote is past tense of smite.
Okay.
I do collect.
I'm going to say this. I own a lot of physical media, but I do not own anything Ghibli, and to be honest, I've never watched anything Ghibli.
Again, open the schools, people. We really need like required reading for anime.
I would argue certain Ghibli movies should be required viewing.
Mm-hmm.
My top, you know what? Kumi, we could probably do a top 5 Ghibli movies.
We could.
I got to see Secret of Arrietty in theaters.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was great.
That was a good one.
I mean, again, my age thing. So I have a soft spot for Princess Mononoke.
My friend
Me and Mononoke have kind of a history of I've not seen the entire thing. More than once. The DVD we were trying to watch cut out halfway through. Spirited Away is the one that has a soft spot for me.
What I really want to do is go to one of those viewings they have where they have the food from the movie, but I'm in Delaware and nothing cool happens in Delaware.
Look before you come up for Onkey. Look up Alamo Draft House, because that's where they do that kind of stuff. Yep. And we could just make it like a night, like depending on when y'all come up or when y'all go home, we could just totally do a group outing to Alamo.
Absolutely. I mean, Kumi will be in the hospital, but yeah.
Kumi will not be in the hospital if I have anything to say about it.
To answer the next question, I do collect anime. I actually just recently picked up the 4K releases of Akira and Ghost in the Shell, which are gorgeous, and they are not like anime upscale. They are original scans. So they are absolutely beautiful. The 4K Ghost in the Shell, I felt like I was seeing stuff that I was not supposed to originally see. It was buttery smooth. I mean, I have Fruits Basket on DVD. I'd have to really go through my entire collection. I have Samurai Champloo, Read or Die, which is one of those animes I feel is underrated. I have Blood Plus. I have Fooly Cooly, which is by and far my favorite anime, the original 6-run series. And I also have Trigun. I mean, I honestly, if I list everything, we'll be here for a while. But yes, I do collect.
But do you find yourself collecting a little less ever since Right Stuff went out of business? Just out of curiosity.
No, it never really affected me.
Okay, because honestly, after Right Stuff went out of business, I kind of quit collecting because I don't like Crunchyroll, and also the Black Friday deals and the Cyber Monday deals that I was so used to doing were just never the same.
And Switch is agreeing with you. Some of the revamps are crazy.
Yeah, they really are. These 4K releases, these runs of 4K releases are really, really good. I'm hoping to get a 4K release of Ninja Scroll. I'm hoping to get a 4K release of if we can get a 4K release of the Dragon Ball Z movies, that would be great. That would be really.
I could agree to that.
I can agree. As much as I have a very small collection of physical media, but that is for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is itty bitty living space.
Yes.
But I will agree that they should not stop making physical media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they ever really will. I think obviously it'll become like vinyl. It'll be just a little higher priced. It won't be as mass produced. There will definitely be limited runs of stuff. But I don't see them ever ending it entirely because there's always going to be there's always going to be a market for it.
And John Knight is from the chat is asking, and SwitchX says, I mainly have books over video. Yeah, books is kind of my thing as well, although I do have a few mangas. My bookcase is full.
I do not collect manga as much as I wish I did. That's probably due to a space issue.
What about light novels?
Oh, I love light novels.
I mean, I do plenty of reading. I mainly do like e-readers now. My physical book collection is abysmal.
And then from the chat, John Knight wants to know, going back to specific anime, have you guys seen Attack on Titan? What's your thoughts?
I have very specific thoughts about Attack on Titan.
There you go, Ange.
Yeah, I know.
Another
So
one.
For me, Attack on Titan is an anime that starts off so strong, and then somewhere it loses me. And that reason is because when it first starts, it is a horror show. It is an anime that answered the question of how do we make zombies scary again? And that's what it was for me. And then it becomes something else, and I lost interest. I love the idea of it just being this city being terrorized by giants, and the bleakness of that, and the randomness of the attacks, and how they dealt with them, and how it was not it was like a losing battle, and they were just scraping by. And once it became something else, it really did lose me. I felt
and SwitchX says they stopped halfway through season 3. That is fair.
Very fair.
I will say this. The short version of my lengthy ramble is seasons 1 through 3, arguably in my top 10 list. Because it started off really strong. It was the early seasons, some really good storytelling, some really good character development. And then the final season, all of its parts.
I was about to say which part.
All of them. You could have ended it at the end of season 3, done like a 90-minute OVA to tie up the loose ends. Instead, what you get is a
4-part of Abomination
that doesn't even tie up the loose ends from season 3. But
I just wish it stayed. I wish it stayed as horrific and as scary as it initially did, man.
I agree.
I would not have labeled it a horror. I see where you're coming from, though, and I actually agree with most of that. I looked at it as a kind of a. I looked at it as kind of a more some level of alternate history.
Okay.
But
I mean,
it just and I have been spoiled on what generally happens in the show, so I know what happens.
Yeah.
And it's just I'm telling you that
It
first
went off. Allegedly, the manga went off the deep end, and therefore the anime stayed fairly close to the source material. It just went off the deep end.
Yeah, pretty much. I liked it until like we were getting towards the end, where things went from this is scary Titan stuff to a whole nother topic that I don't even want to discuss right now. Made me go, what just happened? What happened to scary Titans? What happened to like these beasts coming to eat you? What? The question was, have we watched Attack on Titan dub?
I did.
Yes.
Funny enough.
But we talked about
because my cousin voices in it.
Is it?
Ooh.
There's only a handful of anime dubs that really have strong like voice acting. Like they're really elevated.
I would argue it's not. I would argue it's the. Wait, and this is dating myself quite a bit. The early dubs were just bad, minus specific actors. Specific
actors or specific anime.
I would argue specific. I would argue specific casting choices.
Give an example.
Cowboy Bebop is one of the older anime that I have watched dubbed.
See, I would argue that Cowboy Bebop had like a fantastic dub.
That's my point. That is 100% what I'm saying.
Across the board, like you say, you know, like
across the board, it was great. I would argue, Johnny. I would argue, specific characters stole the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That yes.
Another old one where I've seen the dub is As Mangadio, and that dub was trash.
I mean, the old dubs were it was the Wild West back in the day. So like, if you got a good dub, it was very unlikely because I enjoyed the Trigun dub, even though it was hit or miss all over the place. But the Trigun dub was really, really strong. The Lupin dubs have always kind of been consistently strong.
And Ross in the chat, hello Ross, says he loves your art. Mav, he loves your art icon.
Thank you. That is my Moppet Mav. That is my little character that I draw.
But these days I would argue the dubs are quality, and that just comes down to personal preference.
Like, I'm not even used to dubs. I've watched subtitles for so long. It's just hearing a dub's just weird to me.
God, I heard the Boston in that. I heard the Boston.
Oh no.
Well,
it's been forever since I last watched a dub. I think the last dub I watched was Fairy Tail, like 10 plus years ago.
Yep.
It is actually entirely possible that the last dub I intentionally watched was Boy and the Heron in theaters, but we did, in fact, because of the casting choices, we got tickets to see the dub as opposed to sub.
Dubs are always better.
What?
Ghibli does do a strong job with their dubs.
And yes, husband is in the room, and my mic is picked up his argument, but Ghibli does excellent dubs.
First, the original Case Closed dub, I've never watched Case Closed, so I cannot judge that one.
Same, Ross.
I got about 80 episodes in before I realized it was 1,000 plus. This was actually, I take it back. Back then, it had like 800 something.
And then the next question. Have you guys watched Apothecary Diaries?
I freaking love Apothecary Diaries.
And did you watch it sub or dub?
Both. And I read all the light novels so far, most of the manga. I freaking love that show.
Same. Apothecary.
I have not seen Apothecary Diaries.
That's a
however-
crime, Mav.
Nope,
That-
You gotta get off.
Let me,
Mav,
let me
Mav,
finish.
that is-
Let me finish before you guys attack me. Hold on. I have not seen it. However, there's somebody extremely close to me, Sade, who will be at Onkey, who has, and it was actually, she's in my ear right now saying she watched it and she enjoyed it. And so, Kumi, you have a partner there before you attack me.
Now you've commented about required viewing. Apothecary Diaries should be required.
Yeah, that's
viewing.
required viewing, Mav. Go to class right now.
Go to
Yep.
class right now. I will. You know what? Just to show you. Just to show you
I don't wanna
how
see
deep
anything.
this is for me, I will watch Apothecary Diaries, and I will
Good.
come back with notes and criticisms just for you.
Perfect. That's what I want to see.
As do I.
And
that
Matt,
is-
let me join you in that class because unfortunately I haven't seen it yet either. Just
Yeah,
no
you
time.
gotta go to class. You're late.
Because
Press is gonna be mad at you.
Darren, once you watch that, I want to know your thoughts on air because we can
Oh.
debate that.
It's so good.
Well,
Agreed.
like I said, it was in my planned watch list a while back. It's just that time.
Yes.
Believe me, I understand that. Switchack says, I've seen all of it as well, not read it, but I have watched.
Good on you,
Uh,
Switch. I read
Are we
it.
talking? And I see Rosso is asking. I'm only talking about the old Funimation dubs.
That's related to case closed as far as I
okay.
can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And now the next, and now we're, have you guys, and now it's who's watched Demon Slayer, and again, sub or dub.
Overrated. Overrated.
Never watched it.
Hella
Agreed.
overrated. I'm sorry. That is overrated.
Who
And
cried?
I made it through season 1 and that was enough.
that is an
Yeah,
extremely overrated.
I couldn't make it very far. I
Um,
did try though.
I watched some of it. I enjoyed what I watched. That said, I never went back to it because free time, what's that? And
yeah.
and I will actually agree that it is one of those it's good. It's not great. And it is, I will agree with it being overhyped for what it is.
Just you want to talk about, it's funny because like Deku gets a lot of hate for like main character crying. Holy crap, did I hate the main character of Demon Slayer so much. I hated that dude so much.
And
I'm trying to
Switch
remember
X
the last main character I couldn't stand.
and Switch X is saying, it's this generation's, I assume this is in relation to Demon Slayer. It's this generation's big 3, and that's fine. It's the kid's first anime.
Okay, no. Okay, so I have a bit of a rant here. I'm gonna. This is okay. We are too quick to call something the big 3. See, I actually at NecoCon last year, I did a little experiment and it led to a lot of discussion and it was wonderful. And I walked around with a board and I let people. I started with a list of about 10 or 15 animes, and it was just like my general list of like the top 15 animes of all time. And I walked around with this erase board and I let people take stuff and add stuff and take stuff off just to kind of see where the board ended. And the discussions that we came out of that were, what qualifies as like a great anime, as an all-timer. And one of the big and the people that asked me about the board, they asked me what was my criteria, and I said staying power is one of them. And we are very quick to call something a big 3, and we don't even know if it's going to have the staying power to qualify. The reason why Dragon Ball Z will always be considered one of the big 3 is because of the staying power. Sailor Moon will always be a big 3 because of the staying power. Pokemon, big 3, staying power. One Piece, at this point, even if you don't watch it, you got to respect what One Piece is.
The live action of One Piece is fantastic. I'm just going to interrupt you to add that little bit.
Yes. So, do I believe that the big 3 switch, that Demon Slayer is going to be one of the big 3? I don't think it is, man. Now that it's over,
I mean, Switch X is saying don't age us. I think Mav and I have pretty much done a good job of aging ourselves a bit. And Ross says Ross says, I can confidently say that there is a third character Mav would hate, and this is on anime I've only watched. But if you go and watch the first episode of the anime Kotu-san, you would hate her cry.
I don't hate crying, whining animes. There are just some that just something about Tanjiro, like, it just did not fit that guy.
And while I didn't have a problem with it, I see where you're coming from on that. And and also another show that John's saying, have you guys watched Solo Leveling? And again, if so, sub or dub?
Yes. I watched the dub. I thought the dub was great. But I also was so engrossed in the manhwa that I finished it. So I actually have completely finished it, and as well as the sequel series that it did.
And Switch is saying pressing X to doubt Mav. You know what?
I thought Solo Leveling was great. I think it suffers from the same problem that My Hero suffers from, in that it is a wonderfully crafted world, wonderfully crafted characters. I don't dislike the creators for taking the story where they took it. It's their story to tell as they please, but it just, they're worlds that are so rich that you want them to go in other directions, and they don't, and that's why you're sad.
And Switch has said, seen Solo Leveling subtitled as opposed to dub, but not read it.
Kotura-san, she's a girl that can read minds.
Oh, I think I know what he's talking about.
I was gonna say, Darren, I think you're probably the one that does, because I don't.
I don't know, but I'll check it out.
Hold on a sec. I want to make sure it's the one I'm thinking of.
But no,
okay, this is not the one I'm thinking of, and it aired in 2013.
And I suppose this is where, so I watch a lot. I have over the years watched a lot of anime. I go in cycles of watching way too much and then get burned out, and then nothing grabs my interest for months at a time, and then everything piques my interest. And we're on a cycle of having a watch list that's got more than 2 shows for a season for once.
Okay, so I have a question then. What's your comfy anime? What's your fallback? What's your I can always put this on and just love it?
I'm one of the weird ones that doesn't do rewatches at all.
What?
Not with anything.
I generally don't do rewatches for the fact I don't have time.
For me, the comfy, if I'm going for that familiar feeling, that tends to be music, and I'll just rock out to familiar albums based on moods. But and Ross says, easy answer, Dance and the Vampire. Bund. And Switch brings up a very fun question. So on the track of world building, how do we feel about Freerun?
Haven't watched it.
I have not watched Freerun, and there's a reason for that at this point.
You don't like watching shows that you feel are overhyped.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Over-evaluated.
Is it because the fan base has been weirdly hijacked? Is it that?
No, well, no. For certain shows, yes. Freerun, no.
When shows get that good of a rating, she tends to kind of doubt why as to they deserve that rating, and therefore it kind of becomes disinterested in it.
It's basically if a particular person just does not shut up about something and keeps going with the you need to watch this, I just won't. I will flat out refuse on principle, and that's.
I have to say, dislike Vending Machine.
Yeah.
I hate isekai, therefore Vending Machine right out.
That's the thing, but still, it doesn't change the fact that Doug's been nagging at you to watch it since it came out.
I'm aware, and I won't. You got a better chance of me eventually binging Freerun.
I am actually similar to you like that. If something is very overhyped, I will eventually get around to it. But if there's something
Exactly.
that does make me like go, okay, I'll get to that later.
Exactly.
I am very much like that, which makes me late to stuff, which is also kind of nice because it's like I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah,
fantastic, and I
sometimes
just
watching
enjoy
it-
it on my own time.
Watching it like all at once instead of week to week sometimes is better.
Sometimes.
Can
Hold
God,
on.
I have
First,
Ross, I have no idea what you're getting at. I should and I don't.
okay.
Oh, yes.
Hold on
Yes.
one second.
Absolutely, Ross.
Hold on. So first, Switch, I love the world building on Freerun. I think it is a wonderful concept that they went with of like what happens after, like the idea of like what happens after the main story is complete, what happens to our characters, and what happens to the character that is essentially immortal. I think that is a beautiful story to tell. It was very interesting. So I'm fascinated by the Freerun world building. I'm caught up on the manga. I want to see where it goes. To Rosa, I'm gonna try a couple of these. Nomobuyo, Oshi, Hashitawa. I think I said that wrong. Dokeda, Gunmicha, and that last one I'm kind of Ribura. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you am I the only one that recognizes that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to tell you the show it's from?
Sure.
Yes.
Is this a zombie?
Oh.
And
Okay.
Now Switch is adding commentary here. Vending machine is funny, but it's not breaking any new ground. And also from Switch, from a story builder standpoint, as the D&D person, he really enjoyed Freerun because of the idea. There are certain anime that I have absolutely adored from looking at it from the lens of D&D. So
tell him one of your favorite builds from one of your favorite shows.
Oh God.
Just do it.
We'll get there.
Congrats, you're now a magical girl. I'm now a magical girl. Do I get a badge for that?
Hey, you have a chainsaw.
I actually think I did bring this up before. I've talked about this before. Switch may or may not have been there for that. For a D&D one-shot battle royale, I actually built Maple from Bow Fury as a D&D character, and while I didn't win, I did the math and realized that I had taken more than 3 times my total hit points in damage.
Damn.
Because I built it as a paladin, we were allowed magic items, and I was not allowed to have a flying turtle, which made me sad, but
couldn't have syrup.
But only a couple of the other players recognized the icon, and the ones that did were like, "Oh shit." However, in D&D terms, what killed me effectively was make a dex save. Because I went with a hit point build in pure maple fashion, my dex score was 8. There was no way in hell I was passing a dex save at all, and then therefore ate a ton of lightning damage.
I have never played D&D. I have always wanted to. I probably will get kicked out from the table.
I have sat in on a couple sessions, but I've never played.
Unless you are I have DM'd at conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I have never had to boot someone from the table. I did have to pause and actually question 2 players because one of them because there was PvP, a little bit of PvP. and Switch has, in his own words, hijacked the chat and is Mav. Apparently, we're going to make you play D&D at some point.
I'm down. Listen, I'm 100% down. I've always wanted to. I know it's a matter of the time sync. But yeah, I've always been interested in playing a good some D&D. So if anybody has the patience to actually like teach me and let me like walk through, I am more than interested in playing.
Dude, just TM Gamma.
Okay.
And I would actually willingly do that.
Okay.
And now going back to anime from John, Jujutsu Kaisen. Have we seen it subbed up?
Yep, both.
I've seen both. I think the dub is strong. Going back to our previous conversation, we are lucky now. We do live in a time when it comes to sub and dub where sorry, Switch is very happy and excited to get me to play D&D.
I encourage this, and I will say that a previous guest did build a role-playing game system, and we did do an actual play of that on air. Spoilers. I was kind of forced to play a healer, which was entertaining, but that's not normally what I do.
I tend to, whenever I play any type of game like MMO, anything like that, I always tend to play a character where I can solo. So I played World of Warcraft. I played a druid because it allowed me to play on my own. I played in City of Heroes. I forgot the build I had in City of Heroes. So I played a few MMOs, and I tend to always play a character, like a balanced character for myself.
Did you play Borderlands at all?
I did not play Borderlands, although I do have a friend that is a 3D modeler for the new one.
A friend of ours is I believe the lead writer for the franchise at this point.
Holy crap, that's amazing.
But no, I say this because that is a game, that is a franchise I have put way too many hours into, and I play specific types of characters as well.
Yeah. I have been kicked out of 2 guilds in MMOs. It was fun.
MMOs I tend to avoid because I tend to ignore the minutia.
I can agree with you.
And Guild Wars 2, once my best friends realized this, because they added me to their guild, gave me the class where I literally had access to all the weapons. So I would run around with a hammer and kill things. And then they realized because I refused to hunt and craft and gather things, they basically went, send me everything that's in your inventory that's not a weapon, and then they would upgrade all my gear. But
Kumi got a nice compliment.
Yes.
I have to squint to read it. Hold on. I'm blind.
You have awesome looking avatar. You look respectfully like Carla's human form from Fairy Tail.
Oh, thank you. Different animal, but thank you.
And
take the compliment. Jeez.
I am. I'm taking the compliment.
And going back to anime, have you seen Chainsaw Man?
Nope.
And if so, sub it up.
Nope.
Dub is more and sub for that as well. We kind of got off track. But yeah, I was saying that, I think we live in a time now that the dubs are strong. They have found it does get a little tiring because it does seem like they lean on the same voice actors so much. And I wish they would give more people more opportunities. I understand that we have established voice actors who do great work, but it is a little tiring to hear the same voices from time to time.
I would argue that we're seeing a couple of different that's becoming a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're seeing, yes, there is some of the old guard, that have been in like everything, but then we're seeing a lot of up and coming that are
Yeah.
Okay.
that are slowly getting having had the luxury to talk to a
Exactly. Switch.
having
Go ahead.
had the luxury of talking to a few wonderful voice actors on the show. They're all amazing, and I think we're in an era where there's definitely some established but also some up and coming, and I think we're also seeing a lot of crossover between anime and video games now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would report Kumi to HR, but we don't have one.
No.
HR.
No.
Oh, wow.
Just no.
You know, funny enough, there are a few anime that I can't really watch in the sub anymore. As much as I love subs, there are a few. Full Metal Alchemist, I just can't.
Oh
I
my
can't.
god.
It's too
Original-
good of a dub.
Original or Brotherhood?
Okay, so I love the original. Having watched Brotherhood and read the manga, I think Brotherhood is a stronger one. But there are beats that I feel the first series handle a little better. And I actually didn't hate the ending. I thought the confrontation between Ed and Dante at the end was harrowing and very interesting approach, considering that it deviated so much from the manga.
I've only seen Brotherhood. I absolutely loved it, and I would argue. See, we talk about staying. We've touched on staying power.
Mm-hmm.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one that I would definitely say has that staying power.
Absolutely.
And is definitely one of those, I would argue, required viewings. But I would not call it a big 3.
So I don't think it was long enough to be a big 3. I think
No.
that is.
I think we have. I think those are. I think for the longest time, the big 3 was, and it started out as the big 3 originally was all Shonen Jump titles, and like back in the day, it was Bleach, Naruto, One Piece.
And let's be honest, Bleach was the weakest of those 3. Didn't really deserve to be there, but that's just me.
But that's I can't even argue with that because I've never actually seen it.
My point stands. Thank you.
Hey, I liked Bleach. I didn't think it was like super popular. It was
But
an interesting series.
At the time, it was. At the time, it definitely was. I remember when it yeah, it definitely was.
But it was one of those, and with Bleach coming to an end, with Naruto coming to an end, with One Piece coming to an end, everyone's throwing out titles that are the big 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if they hit the same.
I agree. I think right now we do not have a big 3. I think that right now we have a big 2, and one of them just ended. I do believe that the big 2 are One Piece and My Hero Academia. Those are the 2 big 2. I do not believe Jujutsu Kaisen, as great as it is not a big 3.
And I could argue My Hero isn't necessarily even worthy of that status. It's popular, yes. And it was, for all of its criticisms, I enjoyed it. But I don't know if it has the same level of this. I don't know if it's on that same level.
I actually do believe it is on that level. And my argument for why is because it's kind of like X-Men. He created such a rich world that allows them to tell so many different stories. So we have vigilantes, And I do believe that eventually we're going to get another series in this world. I believe the world itself is what qualifies it as a big three.
All right.
It's such a fascinating world.
I will actually give you that. I will definitely give you that. I actually also and hot take. I thought it actually was a really nice ending. I feel like while they could go back into that world and tell different stories, I feel like that story with those characters was wrapped up and done, and it was a satisfying end.
I will not say I was completely satisfied with the ending, but it was a good ending. I wasn't completely satisfied, only because I feel like there were a couple of confrontations, and again, respect to the creator, because it was his story. Ultimately, he told it how he chose to. I do wish that there were a couple of confrontations that we never got. And I did always feel like at the end, while we did get everybody kind of having their individual battles, we never got the main three, the trio, getting another shot at like the big enemy by themselves. Like Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku not getting one more fight together was like heartbreaking for me.
That's fair. And Switch is saying now we start to fall into the quote, there can't be another big three because of what the big three brought to the Americas.
That is
and
true.
You know what? I will agree with that, because we're at a point where anime is so mainstream that I don't think we could argue for another hour about what would constitute a big three.
Yes.
However, I agree with Switch's point of of the original big three basically made anime mainstream.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm going to read Ross's comment to completely derail us.
Let's derail
it. We are 1 year away from Spaceballs 2.
Let's go.
I never watched the original.
Really?
Okay. Spaceballs is one of Mel Brooks should be also required viewing.
Yes.
I only recently just saw Young Frankenstein. I'm well versed in Mel Brooks, but I had only recently, like in the last year, I saw Young Frankenstein.
Blazing Saddles is a classic that you could not make today. It is most definitely a product of its time.
To be fair, see that argument is such a weak sauce to me, because I think people tend to forget they didn't want him to make it then. He would have just as much of a hard time. They did not want him to make it then. He had to put that one across the finish line on his own. So
you didn't have the internet like you did back then, though.
And it was very much it was problematic, but it was comedy, as opposed to now. If it was something like that was made, it would just be problematic.
Well, now it would be I think that if you made it now, it would be different. You could do the similar story, but it would just be different, because the most recent example of that would be Tropic Thunder. Thunder, it was considered somewhat problematic, but it was comedy, and it was done well. I think that you have a lot of people who believe that the offensiveness is why the movie's good, and they kind of miss the point of the movie.
And Switch Axe is saying, "Oh, that's what happened. His signal got jammed." Yep, plain and simple. Bravo.
Kumi jammed his signal.
And if only I had raspberries. And Ross says he has never seen Blazing Saddles, just random clip scenes, but his favorite Mel Brooks movie is Men in Tights.
Men in Tights is genius. Love Men in Tights.
Spaceballs is my absolute favorite, and when they announce the sequel, I'm cautiously optimistic. I really want it to be awesome. And Switch Axe is pointing out that Tropic Thunder came out in 2008, and saying that's recent is crazy.
I only meant that it is the most recent example of a movie like Blazing Saddles, because I can't think of anything else since that kind of carries that same that same kind of torch.
I think
But I also have a weird sense of time, so yes, calling it recent is crazy.
Yeah, I have a weird. I think that might just become with age, where everything kind of blurs together, and then there's a couple of years. There's a period of time that just didn't exist. We called the pandemic.
Yeah. See, for me, the pandemic existed. I treated it like summer camp. I was like, I don't understand why people say, like, I just played video games with my family. And worked from home.
Oh, you're lucky. I had to work during the whole thing.
I worked too. Like, I just worked from home.
Yeah, see, I didn't get work.
couldn't.
I didn't get work from home. I physically went to work every day.
Yep.
Bringing us back to anime, Kaiju, 5-year blackout switch, fair. Kaiju 8, have we seen it? Sub or dub? What's your thoughts?
I have not seen Kaiju number 8.
If you like shonen, Kaiju number 8 is a fantastic show. I absolutely loved it. I did, in fact, watch it subbed as opposed to dub. But it also has just a really, really good story.
I've heard good things. Like, you know, the problem with age and just being a general anime fan is there's so many shows that I have not seen, and you're never going to be able to watch them all. And then you watch things that you feel don't get the love that they deserve. I think one of the most recent ones that I watched was The Elusive Samurai. Like, I love that season. That first season of that show was amazing. The animation was top notch. The dub was really good, and it just hasn't broken through.
I've watched a lot of shows like that. One that I absolutely loved from a few years ago was that I talked at length when I was watching it was Moriarty the Patriot. Very underrated, fantastic show, but it basically is takes Sherlock and spins it on its head, basically making Moriarty the protagonist.
Okay. I mean, I'll check that out. Also, watch Tropic Thunder. It's a good movie.
And Switch X brings up a valid point that we've discussed on air. Streaming services make it literally impossible to watch everything now. Absolutely correct. And hence why every season Doug, Darren, and I have been, and now Kaya has joined us as well, but we've compared watch lists and who's watching what, and there's always shows that one of us watches that the others do not, and and it is rare that there are shows that all of us watch. I think Spy Family and My Dress Up Darling were the big two.
And Bo Fury, of course.
And Bo Fury. You were supposed to watch Voice Actor Radio with us, and you didn't.
I know, I forgot. And the worst part is I was the one that suggested it.
Exactly.
You know, I have a wonderful question, and I'm really curious about your answers. What is an American show that if you could have remade as an anime or finished as an anime, what show would you choose?
I barely watch American shows, so that is a great question.
God, my taste in media is so all over the place.
Now, define American show: animated, non-animated, in general.
Preferably, mine specifically is more non-animated. And I
Stargate.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Stargate.
See, that's a good one. Like I think a Stargate anime would be really
Awesome.
interesting.
Okay, I got one. Well, actually, I got two.
Okay, go.
Same era. Imagine one of the A-Team or Knight Rider.
That actually is a good. Knight Rider is an anime. Hold on, I think you're onto something here.
Now, my knee-jerk
anime kind of would go hard.
My knee-jerk reaction is actually the X-Files.
Oh, see,
that'd be another good one.
A Scrubs anime.
From the chat.
Anime. Hold
on.
Who did we lose? We lost Kumi.
She did. She stepped away. She tapped out because I was dominating. That's all we have to tell the audience. Don't worry.
Nope. Technical we're gonna chalk that up to technical difficulties, and
she couldn't hang. That's really,
Yep. And then from the chat to answer this question, Switch Hack says Samurai Jack or Ben 10.
A Samurai Jack anime, I'm actually here for.
And Ross says Quantum Leap or Scrubs.
Both, because I think a Quantum Leap slice of life anime would be great. I'm sorry, Scrubs slice of life anime would be great.
On that vein, The Good Place.
The Good Place, interesting. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I have Sade in my ear. She is the very nice person. She says Courage the Cowardly Dog, which I could see it. How about Scooby-Doo anime?
It's kind of hard for me to see a lot of animated shows as an anime just for the fact they're already animated, even though Japan and America have distinct styles.
Agreed. But I'm going to read chat comments, and then I will share a thought about that. MASH as an anime?
MASH's anime is ingenious. MASH the anime is ingenious.
And Mav, have you seen Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
John, you've asked some wonderful questions, and we're getting along, and I don't know why you're trying to make me sad by remembering Edge Runners tonight. Like, I didn't want to be sad.
But on the vein of comparing and contrasting US versus Japan, one thing I did watch was the Japanese movie for Batman Ninja, which was a very weird, very odd take. But Batman is a very American character.
He very much is.
But seeing Japan's take on what amounts to a movie with Japan's take on Batman, very interesting.
Okay, so I have a question about that. Is that Japan's take on anime, or is that America's idea of what the Japanese take on anime?
Oh no, that was definitely made in Japan.
Oh, okay.
That specifically was a Japanese take on Batman.
Okay.
Very interesting. And then Ruby, which is a very American show, got number one. It got a Japanese dub, which was very interesting. And then also it got its own. Japan created its own spin-off of Ruby, which was a lot of fun.
Okay.
And it was the same world building from the American show, but very Japanese, both in the art and the storytelling.
Okay.
Even though it was very American characters.
I've never cared for the Ruby series, but I don't know enough about it to judge.
It is what it that is up there with one of my favorites.
Okay.
I cosplayed as one of the four girls for years, but that's all. That is that.
An Animorphs anime from Rosso. I mean, I'm here for
Yeah.
that. Would it have a crossover with Goosebumps eventually?
You know what? Switch acts. Hear me out. Let's leave America real quick. Code Lyoko.
I had a feeling.
It's a French animated show that worked very well with American audiences.
Code Lyoko was great. Code Lyoko
Never
was
seen
dope.
it. And then John Knight bringing it back to have we seen Go Go Loser Ranger?
No, I have not yet. I've only seen clips. Really.
Season one was really good. Season 2 came out at a time when we were just not around, and therefore we never went back to it. And now it's at a point of, will we go back to it? Maybe eventually, but probably not now.
You know, I actually have a question, since this is your radio show and stuff, and you guys seem to really have like a deep dive on anime. There has been something that has been bugging me about the anime community now that I would love to get your guys' perspective on. Do you guys feel as though with anime as worldwide as it is, and specifically how prevalent it is in America, do you guys feel like there is a push from American audiences to cater to American sensibilities, and that in and of itself is a detriment to anime?
Are you talking about in terms of us getting offended over stuff, or are you talking about us liking a series so much that the author should pay more attention to the worldwide audience versus just strictly the Japanese audience?
Both.
There's a lot to unpack there. But first, to address Ross's comment, Saved by the Bell as an anime could be a really fun slice of life.
That really would be. Screech would be awesome.
I will 100% agree with that. That's a lot. Your question is very heavy and fantastic, making me think. I do think that so my social media feeds, I've actually managed to get them curated where the suggested stuff is all stuff I'm actually interested in. So it's sports, anime, travel, and food is like 90% of it. And so I found an article that Spy Family, which Spy Family was a global phenomenon. The author pretty much has gotten to a point of hates writing it. But because of how popular it is, it's not going to end.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. Because I feel like we're going to get to a point where if the writer's not happy writing it, that's eventually going to show.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like an artist performing a song that they wish they'd never done,
which happens all the time.
Because especially when that song becomes a hit, and that's what the majority of the concerts they play, they want to hear, and they get tired of it.
Exactly. I think we're actually seeing. I think we're seeing a divide. America being America and being the egocentric types that Americans tend to be.
Very much so.
They feel like they like that the Japanese production companies should cater to their taste because they're the ones they're the ones consuming it, they're the ones spending the money,
Mhm.
and so on and so forth. But there's also the contingent of, well, it's Japanese, therefore it shouldn't lose its Japanese cultural aspects. I hope I'm phrasing this right.
No, I follow you, and actually, I kind of I agree with you. I do feel as though Americans and at least online have gotten to a point where they are essentially trying to hijack the medium and having and demanding changes for American sensibilities, American the puritanical culture that runs underneath that we don't really ever really address. And you talk about people saying like, oh well, I don't like the fan service and and it's like while it is great that we have absorbed anime as we have, this is still not yours.
And fan service is something that is a part of anime culture.
Yes.
I don't like excessive fan service, and I don't have to. I can choose to blatantly ignore it.
Yes.
And take in the content I like regardless.
Yeah, and it's funny because part of that pushback it reminds me of it's like the 80s satanic panic thing. It's like all of that stuff where it's like, well, if you don't, the fan service, it's giving people the wrong idea about XYZ and it's infecting the youth and yada yada yada. And I grew up at a time where it was ultra violence and it was nudity, and these are all things, and I absorbed it and I was able to discern. And it seems like somewhere along the line we've lost that people have the control to either turn it off, skip the parts you don't like, and also remember that this is not real. These are not real.
And that's exactly it. It's like
they blur the line of reality and fiction like too much.
And also when we were growing up, the internet didn't exist. There was some level of go outside.
Yes.
And I spent just as much time sitting in a tree with a book.
Good old days.
The cultural difference, even at work today, we had some slightly younger employees that said on days like this, they'd rather be curled up in their bed or whatever, watching a movie or something. Meanwhile, me, for instance, I'd rather be outside, like hitting it on the 4-wheeler or something crazy in the snow because it doesn't ever really happen.
Right.
Whereas for me, snow is just a fact of it's just part of life. Do I wish I had the gear to go outside and play in the snow? Kinda. I hate driving in it. I do it anyway.
Yeah.
But and I'm gonna read because chat has some interesting things to say about this. And John, we'll get back to anime shortly. Ross says my answer is no, in his opinion, because in today's world, you're destroying fun for the creativeness or as a hobby and want to thin out fun by pushing and things we did not ask for. All in all, I mean, no communication. People just want to be greedy instead of set some limits for creativity versus popularity destroying by thinning out that limit. And that makes that wordy and as disjointed as that was, it does make sense.
I think that the easiest way to put it is like, you do not get to decide the story. That as we talked about several animes tonight, you don't get to decide what the person creates. You don't, and if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Continuing to date myself here. There was a punk band. There's a punk band, The Offspring, and and on one of their albums they had the first track was titled Disclaimer. And it was a whole long rant about the contents that basically went into the topics that would be discussed on the album. And then at the very end, and if this offends you, just don't listen to it. And I think that's where we're at. It's like people just the internet is really awesome for some things and really a cesspool for others.
We can see. Hold on, Switch says we can see how our actions have effect on anime though because of the rewriting of Jujutsu Kaisen. How so?
I want to address his previous comment about do you like the professional sport curling? No, then you don't consume the media. This falls back into there is too much media to consume, and absolutely, you know what? Because Gigi made an end that fans didn't like, so is now rewriting the ending.
He is? Are you talking about the sequel series? I didn't realize he was rewriting the ending.
And then while we're back on anime, John Knight a while ago asked if you've seen Mashal.
No, but I have been told to watch it. I've been told it's a good one.
It is. And I tend to watch most things subtitled, but that's just a personal preference. I will occasionally watch a dub if depending on the casting, but I tend to like Ghibli movies I tend to watch dubbed. But habitually at this point, unless someone suggests unless someone says otherwise, I tend to watch subtitles. But no, I think the internet has made it so easy to get access to content from all over the world. It has also made it so easy for everyone to kind of impose their own beliefs and make it easy for them to try and claim that it's theirs. And the rewriting of Jujutsu Kaisen reminded me that My Hero Academia finished. It ended. There was an ending. Not everybody was satisfied with the ending. I thought it was fine. Not the greatest, but fine. Enough people complained to the point where they're now creating more and giving a new ending.
Okay. Actually, and Rosso says like he wants to say they want to keep. So Rosso, I believe you're right, and I believe that is a uniquely American thing, by the way, because in American media specifically, our pop media, we do not allow our stories to end. That speaks for our entire comic book industry. We do not allow our stories to end, and because of that, it's like we're trying to export that belief to anime and to other places. And
it's funny, anime is very much a global thing. My husband and I love to travel, and we were in Greece. Yeah, that was Greece. And we were doing one of those organized tour things for a day with his family. And there were other people around our age, give or take, and one of them had a One Piece tattoo, and my husband's got the JoJo star as a tattoo, and that led to us discussing with these people from Spain we used anime to just kind of have an entire conversation of who's seen what, and they did not speak the greatest English, and my Spanish is very, very elementary school level. But it was amazing.
Yes, those moments are amazing. I had something similar like that myself. I was in the Bahamas, and I spent 3 hours in a pool just chopping it up, talking anime with these complete strangers.
Exactly. That's like the best. And when I travel, if I see anime stuff in other countries, in our show group chat, I will send pictures of the stuff. Like there's like what's popular in the United States is not necessarily indicative of what's popular in Europe.
Yeah.
Is not indicative of what's popular in Japan.
Yep.
Like, and I'm gonna Switch says, you know, this is actually a perfect illustration of that to get into Switch's comment about he watched the first episode of Chainsaw Man and dropped it because it felt not good to him, so he just moved on. Now, I actually really enjoyed the first season of Chainsaw Man, but I understand that that's a very that show, there was a lot of people that loved it, a lot of people hated it.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is definitely a divisive one from what I've seen because some people find it, the story to be too dark at times.
I will 100% agree that at times it is very, very dark.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I'm right there with you.
But at the same time, I understand that is not a show that I would recommend to everyone.
No, there are some people who will not. Because some people like their anime, and you know that's the beauty of it. Just like books and just like stories in general, there's something for everybody. You find what you like. But I do
you find
feel
what you like, and you stick, and occasionally you step out of your comfort zone and you try something you don't like it. That's okay. You don't have to.
Yes.
Yep.
But this idea, I think, and I really do say it's the American audience that is trying to hijack this thing. They're actively trying to hijack it and turn it into something exclusively that they want to see and they want to be.
And Ross is actually bringing up a comic book illustration of that, or live action comic. For example, Sam Raimi, who is a writer-director, I know the name, recently came out and said there will not be a 4th Spider-Man movie because the characters are somewhere else in the multiverse right now, and it wouldn't feel right to bring them back, and the torch has been passed to someone else.
Yes.
And if I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but I believe right now we're at the story of Miles Morales.
If he's talking about the movies, he's talking about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because there has been a massive push to bring back Tobey Maguire and have him have a 4th one, even though Tom Holland is the actor for him.
And that's one of those whatever. I mean, that gets into one of those. I know it. I don't like comic book movies. For me personally, are very hit or miss. I've seen some good ones, I've seen some bad ones, and some I've gone literally just because all of my friends are going and I don't want to be left out. And that's fine. That gets into there's something for everybody, and not everybody has to like everything.
Yeah. You know, I think that it's funny because like pop culture and stories and games and all these things that we love, and specifically anime, we love them because they give us something. The reason people tend to get into anime is because it's giving them something that they've not seen, they've not heard. And yet they're so quick to try to hijack it and twist it into the exact story they want, which goes against the very idea of storytelling and the exploration of stories and worlds. So it's so funny to watch, like just as an example again of like Americans, Star Wars. Like it's so fascinating to watch people try like to force Star Wars to be a very specific thing when the reason you got into it was because it was something you hadn't seen.
And the world and Star Wars has I'm going to preface this by saying Star Wars is my childhood. The original trilogy is a very big part of my childhood. It is a fantastic. They set up some amazing world building, but at the end of the day, it's a really basic and overdone story. And the newer stuff, the prequel and sequel movies were honestly a hot mess. Rogue One was fantastic, and I really love what the shows are doing. Not all of them have hit, some of them have been misses, but what they're doing is amazing things with the world building and taking and looking at different aspects. It's not the same old story.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like there definitely is there is a vocal group of people online, and it goes for anime, it goes for movies, it goes for games, that just they demand the exact same thing. And it's fascinating. It's just, as a fan of stories and anime and all this stuff, it is fascinating to watch that happen, to watch people demand the story be exactly what you want it to be. It's like, that's not why this story grabbed you.
Exactly. And did you watch Star Wars Visions?
I did.
I absolutely, not every episode grabbed me, but I loved watching different studios take on Star Wars. The one by Trigger was so obviously Studio Trigger. It was fantastic.
That was 100%. You knew who that was.
Like within 5 seconds, you knew it was Trigger. But it was fantastic because every studio did their own thing.
Yeah.
And for most of them, if you didn't know, you didn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily Star Wars per se. Some of them, yeah, it was a story of a Jedi, but it was very much isolated one-off stories, and it was actually really well done, even if not all of them like hit for me.
Agree. And Rosso, you're correct. Yes. And it's funny that to answer Rosso, to reply to Rosso, he's saying, yeah, we are trying to take control away from creators, but that's not how it works. So it's funny to watch. It's fun to watch the push and pull, because you won't win. You're not the creator. Like you're not gonna win that battle.
Or just write your own fan fiction.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That used to be what it was. You used to go online and just find a forum and write your fan fiction.
You don't. And Switch is adding, on the list of need to watch, understand the culture, anime as a medium, Gurren Lagann.
I've actually never seen it.
I have. Gurren Lagann is a very interesting show. I enjoyed most of it. There was a definitive point where I feel like it should have ended, and it didn't. And then it just went off the deep end.
Yep.
Another recent show that I really enjoyed. Mav, have you seen Sakamoto Days?
I have, and I am loving it right now.
Sub or dub?
Dub.
Sakamoto Days was one that if Darren hadn't brought it up, I probably would have missed. But it is 100% my jam. Absolutely loving it. It is so much fun. And
have any of you seen Castlevania?
No, but I know the story.
Okay.
I played the games.
I've seen the games played.
Okay. I would highly recommend watching the show. It is a wonderful show, and they did a really great job condensing and kind of remixing the story and to get it to fit. I thought it was worth it. I thought that is a American anime that doesn't get the love it deserves, because that show and then the sequel series Nocturne is fantastic.
While we're on that, Arcane.
Oh, masterpiece.
I've not actually watched it. I've heard many, many amazing things. But it's one of those what little I saw, I kind of lumped into the whole not for me, but but it's well done. And maybe it is entirely possible that I spent that because my undergraduate degree is English literature, I spent way too much time over analyzing literally everything. And I don't think I ever learned to turn that part of my brain off. So I kind of go into anime, especially ones that don't necessarily grab me right away, through that lens of over analyzing. And there was one anime that the two Doug and Darren absolutely loved. It was one of their top 5 for that year, let alone season. And Doug kept trying to convince me that it was really good and I should watch it. And he had a bunch of selling points. Everything he said was accurate, except for the fact that he forgot that one of my big deal breakers is I cannot get past bad writing. And I watched 2 episodes and absolutely hated the show. It was not for me, but everything else he said, the art was gorgeous, the symbolism was gorgeous, the music was fantastic. But it was a not for me show, and I labeled it as my biggest disappointment for that year because I wanted to enjoy it, but I just couldn't.
Okay.
And Darren knows exactly if he's still awake, knows exactly what show I'm referring to.
Well, don't leave me in suspense.
Have you watched Call of the Night?
No, have not.
I did not. Doug and Darren absolutely loved it. I could not get past for me, the 2 main characters were very flat, and there was I did not see any redeeming qualities.
Okay. And
for me, that's kind of a deal breaker. Like for some with anime, the art style is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
And now we're getting, and while I've been rambling, chat has been filling with comments. And some commentary about different takes about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And a recommendation anime to you from the chat is Sign of Affection.
I will give it a watch.
It is a slice of life romance anime. It is actually really, really, really well done.
Okay. My taste cannot be pinned down. I just love the medium. I love the medium, so I'm open to watch and listen to to try everything. I mean, you would never look at me and suspect it, but I absolutely adore the first iteration of Fruits Basket. I love that anime. I thought it was very well done. I love the characters. I
don't think I finished the original Fruits Basket. I've seen some of it.
To answer Rosso really fast, Dracula, I can understand that. Like, I can definitely understand, especially if you're a fan of the games, how Dracula could come across that way. I would say still give it a watch. I would definitely say try to push through because it is a very good story. And to switch, the sequel is all right. I thought I liked the sequel, but I might be deeper into the Castlevania lore than you. So I liked what they did with Richter, and specifically.
And kind of going back to that whole basically they don't end their shows when they should. I was having a conversation at work about Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody basically brought up a specific character in Walking Dead who started out as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, after a certain number of seasons, he became the good guy, but didn't get that redemption arc to justify it.
You're referring to Negan.
Yes, I am.
I never
actually watched Walking Dead. I just kind of missed the boat on that.
I was big into Walking Dead. I didn't watch the later seasons because The Walking Dead is a show that the writing is kind of on the wall of how it ends very early. So it's like you watch it until you can't, and then it just kind of fades off. Like, because you know how it ends. Like, once they've established rules of the universe, they can either keep telling the story forever, or it's going to end like one of 2 ways.
And it should have ended well before it did. Apparently the discussion point.
Yeah.
And it is a kind of the perfect example to illustrate this point.
Yes, but they weren't going to do that. We do not let our stories end. We do not, and thus it is actually that very thing has caused our storytelling and our pop culture to stagnate.
Yeah. To the point, we're getting away from anime, but I think that's kind of the point. That's kind of where we're at. Game of Thrones, the writer has publicly said that he's struggling to finish it because he's burnt out.
Yeah.
And yet the fans are up in arms.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it sucks that he kind of gave away the ending to the showrunners, but yeah, like they like let the writer write, and because if you rush them, you're not going to be happy with what the output is.
Exactly.
And if you try to control them, you're not going to be happy with what the output is. And no, I have not seen Windbreaker.
Yeah, no, that's one that my husband chose. I didn't. And because we do that. We watch anime together, and every season we'll go through the list and pick a few and compromise, and Windbreaker was one that I was on the fence about, but ended up really enjoying. It just took a while to grab me. And Switchax says that he watched it subbed because he watched it live. Yeah, same.
We gotta pull us back to anime. Like, look,
for the last 5 minutes.
Yes.
For action. And then Switchax, and then Mav, have you watched My Happy Marriage?
No, but as the person I spoke about previously, Sade, she has, and she has told me all about it. I'm sure at some point she's gonna make me sit down and watch it.
I really enjoyed it. I know people who have not. And Switchax says that he watched it dubbed because he and his wife watched it together. That was one I watched solo. And Ross says, for action, should check out Failure Frame about a guy wants revenge on an evil goddess that summoned him from another world.
Okay. I mean, I've got a lot of suggestions here. I've actually been writing some down, so I'm gonna check out all these. I mean, it might take a little bit, but they're definitely on my list.
And now that we're at the 2-minute warning mark, I'm gonna call shameless plug time. So let's do the thing where you tell our lovely audience about
Onkey
I
was not prepared for this at all.
Or at the very least, shameless plug. Give us dates and a place, and
give me 1 second because I was not prepared for any of this. Obviously we are working very hard on it. It is a very, very important passion project. Switch knows all of the information off the bat. You would think that I would remember this stuff because I'm responsible for the everything, but for all the graphics. But my memory is terrible. So, give me 1 second. Come on.
And Switch, that's funny. Switch says, hear me out. If your recommendations past 12 syllables, I'm not watching it. Some of the light novel titles known as Snowbounds.
Oh my god, where's my stuff at?
And Switch saving us from the chat. Onkey Expo, first East Coast VTuber convention.
Thank you, Switch.
Let's go.
Okay, so yes, this is the Onkey Expo. Will be our inaugural year. We're hoping to have this be an annual thing, and we're working very hard. So it'll be November the 20th to the 22nd. It will be outside of Boston, about 30 minutes outside of Boston. We have a hotel. Please check out our website, follow our socials. We are ramping up, especially as we enter the new year. And we have giveaways. We're going to be engaging more with the audience, and just stay tuned. We have some exciting announcements coming down the pipe, and we're really excited to show you what's next and what we have coming up. So yeah, and thank you so much for having me. It's been fun sitting here talking anime with you guys.
Agreed. It's always fun talking about anime, especially with people that I don't necessarily get to talk to very often, because it's always fun comparing tastes.
Oh, absolutely.
And on that lovely note,
watch Lupin the Third if you have not. Anybody listening, please watch Lupin the Third.
There's been some amazing anime suggested, not all of which I have seen, so check those out. Until next time, especially with the winter storms, ice and snow, stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you all next week, where hopefully Doug will be back and not working. But but the jury's still out on that one. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.